What's up, you guys? My name is Kiara Selena, and in today's video I'm going to give you guys my personal opinion on whether or not I think it's worth it to work as a CNA while in nursing school. Let's get into it. What's up, you guys? Welcome to my channel, Nursing with Key, where I make a whole bunch of nursing videos sharing tips and tricks that I've developed along my journey to help you guys have the smoothest nursing journey. So if you are into things like this, you might want to consider subscribing so you'll be the first person to get a notification every time I make a video. So honestly, I don't really see much cons when it comes to working as a CNA while in nursing school, other than the fact that it can be very exhausting depending on how many hours you work. I'm a full-time student and I'm also a full-time worker, so balancing school and work can be very hard because I go to school in the morning and then I go to work in the afternoon. So I might leave my house around 7 o'clock and I won't get back home till 11, and those days are very long and it can be very exhausting. But it is a personal choice that I have made to work full-time. You know, I've learned how to manage my time. I've learned, you know, my schedule, and I know when to study and things like that. So it can be very exhausting. You know, you can go to class in the morning and be super exhausted, not pay attention because you haven't slept much the night before, and it's very hard to find time to study. But if you are able to work part-time, or if you're able to maybe work, you know, 2 days or so a week, I don't really see where you would have a problem. So honestly, that is the only con that I see in working as a CNA while in nursing school. Now for the pros. Now, first of all, the first pro is that it will get you very comfortable speaking with your patients. And what I mean by that is, I know that in school we practice the whole global approach. You go to the labs, you speak to the mannequins and things like that, but mannequins don't really respond. And it's a lot easier to speak to mannequins than it is to speak to actual human beings. And sometimes you will have patients that will be edgy and that will be a little bit mean, but it will really get you out there and get you comfortable speaking to your patients. You're really going to learn how to develop that trusting relationship, you know, how to build that professional patient relationship. And when you go on your rotations and when you actually do become a nurse, you'll be a lot more confident and a lot more comfortable on the floor. The second pro is that it will give you the opportunity to work with other nurses. So even if you're not working as a nurse, you're going to be working around nurses, and sometimes they are very, very nice and you can ask them questions. Sometimes if you're done doing all your work, they will allow you to shadow you, they'll allow you to walk with them, and you'll get to see how they manage their time, how they manage, you know, their schedule, and you know, how they make a plan at the beginning of the day to, you know, do what they have to do. You'll learn a lot from them, so that's a really good opportunity as well. The third pro is it'll teach you how to manage your time. I know that when I went on my first rotation, my basic care rotation anyway, I had 2 patients. And, you know, I was seeing all the CNAs, you know, do 10-15 patients in like almost no time, and I would be in the room with the patient for like, you know, hours. But it'll get you, well, not hours, but you know what I mean. I would be in a room with the patient for a very long period of time compared to the CNAs, and I was just like really trying my best to, you know, do everything properly but also get it done quickly. And it was very hard in the beginning, but by force of doing it over and over again, certain things are going to become nothing to you. So for example, if you're a nurse, you're working on the floor, a CNA is busy, somebody, I don't know, has a BM or somebody needs a shower, because you're so used to doing those things, because you've had that exposure before, you'd be able to help that CNA in no time and still get what you have to get done in no time as well. So it really teaches you time management, and I think that that's very important, because sometimes nurses have a ridiculous amount of patients to take care of during the course of their shift. Sometimes you'll have 10, 15, 20 patients. So time management is very, very important for working in the nursing field. The next pro is that it will, well, at least it should humble you. Now, I've spoken about this in my What I Hate About the Nursing Field video, which I'll probably leave a link to down below, but it will humble you. I've met so many nurses that think that they are too good, or that they are too high or whatever to, you know, do things like change a brief or help people. You know, all they want to do is just sit down in the nursing station, talk to each other all day, give medications, you know, do all the easy work and boss everybody around, and they just walk around like they're better than everybody. But it will humble you because it will remind you where you came from. And CNAs work extremely hard. Honestly, I would say that CNAs probably work harder than anybody else in the field. You do so much. Like 2 hours into my shift, my back is on fire. Like, it is on fire. You're constantly moving people, you're constantly changing people, you're constantly bathing people. It's a lot of work. And you know, the nurses walk around looking all cute, and you know, they give their injections, they count their IVs. And I'm not bashing nurses. I'm not saying that nurses are bad. I wouldn't want to become a nurse. I wouldn't be in nursing school if I thought so. But I'm just saying that I have met some nurses that can be very ignorant, that can be very mean, and that could just be very very stush. Who wants a stush nurse? No one. So it is going to humble you, and it is going to make you a better nurse. And you are going to, your coworkers, your CNA coworkers will learn to like you. They will learn to respect you a lot more, because time and time again, I've met CNAs, I've, you know, spoken to CNAs that tell me that they're always talked down on, or that they're treated badly within the field because nobody acknowledges them, nobody thinks that they're important or whatever. But you will learn to respect those CNAs, you know, and it'll just make you a better coworker overall. So I think that working as a CNA before becoming a nurse will humble you. It is very humbling, and I think that being in the medical field, you should definitely be a humble person. And overall, it'll just make you a better nurse. You know, it'll give you exposure and basically all the things that I just said. So I definitely think that it's worth it to work as a tech or as a CNA while in nursing school. I know that for me personally, within the first 3 months of nursing school, I got my certificate to work as a CNA that allowed me to work as a CNA, because they said that the first 2 or 3 months of nursing school is equivalent to the CNA program. So if you are past your first 3 months, maybe speak to your teacher or a guidance counselor or whoever is at your school to get more information on that, and try working as a CNA. And on top of that, my next pro is that you will graduate with experience. And this will make it a lot easier for you to get a job. I looked on Indeed, I've done some research, and I'm not even done my nursing school yet, but I've done some research just to basically see what facilities are looking for when hiring nurses. And a lot of the time they want nurses who have experience. So getting experience is definitely a good thing, because when you go to apply for a job and they look, they're going to see that, oh look, she's given medication before, she's done vitals before, you know, she knows how to speak to patients, she knows how to work with others, she knows how to go through the care plans. You know a lot of things already, so that puts you a step ahead of the other people who have no nursing experience at all. So that honestly is probably one of the main reasons, other than the fact that I like to help people, but that is also one of the main reasons why I decided to do it, just so that when I graduate, it would be a lot easier for me to find a nursing job, as opposed to not having no experience at all. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.